What's going on, people? Today we're going to talk about how to be successful, reprogramming your life for progress. Small, consistent change looms large. That is what is on the table for today. One of the things I want to make clear is many people are attempting to become better. If you're making more money than you're currently making, you've become better in some aspect without becoming better. There are many people who don't want to change. They don't want to give to get. It's a very fascinating dynamic, which is why one of the reasons that I'm doing this stream, because you're not going to get to where you want to go unless you change certain aspects of yourself. One of the things that I've done, and it's very shocking, it is kind of crazy. I'm in the process of reprogramming my workout. It's taken me many months to get the eating down because it has to be a sustainable process. These fad diets and stuff. I've fortunately never gotten into them, but they can wreck your body. So I've started working on, I've always had rather large legs and a big butt, but my upper body is dominant. So I've totally reprogrammed. It's 3 days of legs, just 1 day of upper body. I really don't need a lot more upper body development. I need to get cut. So I've thrown out squats. I've stopped doing deadlifts. So I have a front squat machine, and I start focusing on front squats, because I had a low bar squat to get the most weight, because my goal, my programming was to lift as much weight. So I was squatting 500 pounds for reps, but my legs were not as big as they could be. I would see guys in the gym who could not squat nothing like I could squat. They couldn't. I'm talking about all the way to the ground. Boom, boom, 5-6 reps. So during my reprogramming phase, I was like, okay, I need more lower leg development. So I started doing front squats and the squat machine. Now this is the kicker, because I had been programmed for the heavy back squat, mid back squat to get the most weight, that, when you do the front squat, you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to go back, right? But my body, my mechanics were designed to go like that. We're only talking about an inch, maybe 2 inches of movement, if that, right? But it's very, very big. So I literally started with the bar. Even though I could back squat 500 pounds, I just started with the bar because my form, I didn't have any form. I didn't have any neural pathways. My body hadn't been programmed and conditioned from the front squat. So I just kind of relaxed. Just like, you know what? We're going to commit to this. We're going to do this. This was about 2 months ago. Well, something really, really spooky happened. It was spooky and it was eerie. I'm still squatting with the bar. Then I get up to 135 after 4 weeks because my form was terrible. I struggled. There was choking and all other kind of stuff because I just wasn't used to having the bar on my shoulders like that. But I stuck with it. So the first month, I probably squatted 5-6 sets, 5 to 10 reps. That was it, because the conditioning was off. Well, very interesting thing happened when I got to 135, because in the second month, I was able to put weight on the bar. I was able to do reps. Form improved. I was going low, and some strange changes happened. The Camerons, we had the big booties gene in our family. So I had a really big booty. It is what it is. But I noticed that I was wearing sweatpants, and you ever have some sweatpants that were too big? Because I did lose weight, So that was another reason. But I was actually stepping on my sweatpants because, unbeknownst to me, because I don't see it, my butt got smaller. That's interesting because, I stopped the stimulus from the heavy squats, right? So that's like, this is interesting. And my shorts hung lower, even though I had them pulled up because, once again, I lost weight. Then I was messing around the other day, and I noticed that my mid-thigh down to my knee is way bigger. I was like, what? I mean, I see muscles I haven't seen in years. I was like, wait a minute. Only 135. I can do 185 for about 4 reps now and keep the form. After that, the form starts breaking down, so I stop because I've committed to this. And it's like, you know what? If it takes 6 months, it's going to take 6 months because I have the power to squat 500 pounds, but I don't have the form. I don't have the support muscle strength. It ain't there yet. And it's going to take months for me to get there. But I realized that my legs have literally grown 2 inches. I want you to really think about that. I am lifting 500 pounds, back squat, but my conditioning and my programming were for the heavy back squat. My conditioning and my programming wasn't for big legs. So because it's blowing my mind. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm getting bigger leg development from like way less weight. I say all this to set the stage to the power of reprogramming yourself. You're not going to get where you want to get being who you are right now. Because if you were going to get where you were going to get being who you are right now, you'd be there. You're going to have to reprogram yourself. You're going to have to actually start over in some cases with certain thought processes, certain perspectives. I did a video the other day, Entrepreneurship is the Cure for Racism. And I had, fortunately, the Hoteps listen. I had one who was trying to come in there. Have you heard of the Tulsa riots? It's like, yeah. Have you heard of Robert Smith? People have not really investigated that. And I want you to go ahead and go to the Google machine and check me out. There were only 3,000 residents in Tulsa. 3,000, not to marginalize their deaths, not to marginalize the atrocities that were cast upon that city. There was 3,000 people. But for some reason, a man who employs 55,000 people, well, the people in Tulsa were wealthier than he is. Mathematically, it does not add up. But once again, what are we talking about? Programming. We're talking about people who are instituted with a certain level of programming. Until that internal programming changes, Jesus can come down and say, look, this is the deal. And because their programming says, Jesus, you're wrong, they can be like, Jesus, that ain't the case. They would argue with Jesus because their programming has them led astray. The Trump people, the cult of Trump. I don't care what anyone says. That's a cult. Lying. You know what? Let's go ahead and go with the Pookie Nim example. Let's say Pookie, Ray Ray, and Leroy were in the car. Pookie had some weed on him. Ray Ray and Leroy did not know that Pookie had weed on him. Pookie pulls out a blunt, starts smoking. All of a sudden, Ray Ray and Leroy are like, hey, man, put that out. Whoop! Cop pulls over. There's clearly weed in the car. The cop, following normal and reasonable protocol, arrests all 3 of them for suspicion of possession. This happens every day. But in the code of Trump, Flynn, Manafort, Papadopoulos, it does not matter. But if you were to go to the code of Trump and give out the example of Pookie Nam, Leroy, and Ray Ray, well, more than likely, they were all guilty. I mean, there was one of them that had some weed. But you apply that same logic to an administration that's had several people indicted. It's fake news. It's fake news. It's fake news. And I go there not to get political, but to show you the power of programming. Donald Trump is the architect of one of the greatest mental hacks in history. He has programmed people that he has their best interests at heart when he doesn't. He has programmed people that he's going to make the economy better when it was already decent, but now it's starting to go down. This is the power of programming. This is the power of indoctrination. This is the power of understanding human nature. This is the programming. Because I've been having this fight with the hoteps for years, and on my Facebook page, there's another fight, and I hit them with this challenge. I'm not going to show it to you because I don't want y'all going there. But I'm going to tell you what I put up there, because right now I'm running a counter program. If you're going to go on and on about so-called white supremacy, but have no solutions require money, or you're not self-employed or a business owner, you're just kidding yourself. You don't want to end white supremacy. You just want to be inside the house with Mr. Charlie licking his boots. Because see, once you talk reason and logic to people who are programmed, it bounces off of them. But when you get to the core of who they are, when you start saying stuff that they find offensive because it's true, this creates a chasm, because they got all mad about that. And then, for those of you, and I want you to look it up, how many of you are familiar with A.G. Gaston? One of the first black millionaires. A.G. Gaston's the one that bailed King out of jail. A.G. Gaston single-handedly jump-started the civil rights movement. He had money. Malcolm X, the Nation of Islam, they had money. The Tea Party, $216 million spent by the Koch brothers. They had money. You can have the best intentions in the world, but unless you've got some money and structure behind your organization, it ain't going nowhere. It's just not. It's just too much that has to happen. But going back to me throwing that verbal grenade into the pack of wolves, because as long as we were going counterpoint, because I stopped after like 2 posts. I was like, oh, this is what I'm dealing with. Let me go ahead and ratchet it up. Boom! They are howling like a pack of dogs, going off, blah, 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 blah. But see, now I've planted that seed because I spoke their language. And this is another thing that we talk. I did the video on disruptive male, how many men don't like alpha male. And once again, it's the same thing. You're trying to create this programming that only you yourself understand. You can't indoctrinate anybody with that, because when you say I'm a sigma male, people are like, what's that? You say I'm an omega male. Really? What's that? Is that a cartoon character? But when you say I'm an alpha male, oh, everyone knows what that is. Oh, you're strong, you're dominant, you're aggressive. Okay, I got it. But for some reason, these people don't understand the power of language, because they have been programmed for some dumb stuff. They have been programmed for some felonious stuff. But once again, people don't understand this because people do what they do. And since we no longer have first and second and third generations talking to each other, because your grandmother was like, baby, that's wrong. I know you think you're right, but that's wrong. People would tell you. Now people are developing their philosophies and their programming in silos, and then they're going to an echo chamber and they think that they're thinking correctly and normally and reasonably because it's reinforced. That's the cult part. And that's one of the things, because this is probably going to happen on No Shade's channel, because we're going to do the I'm gonna throw some more bombs. I'm gonna throw some more grenades in the hotel pack of hotels. O'Shea got on it like, yes, I like this. Oh, it should be interesting. But yeah, the thing is, like I discovered after years of working out, I'm not trying to get big anymore. I figure I'll get down to like a tight 245 and probably another year or 9 months. I'm much closer. But because I've reprogrammed myself, I've been able to maintain consistent results and not get injured because I'm on a different program. If you're trying to make money and you're still using the same programming that you have, you're going to fail. I don't think that I've really broken that down the way that I'm breaking it down now because I became reprogrammed in that boarding house. Many of the things that I thought to be true, normal, and reasonable, they were shattered. It's like you work hard, you work 40 hours, you do a good job, you keep your nose clean, you get a haircut, you go to church on Sundays. Nothing bad's supposed to happen to you. A lot of bad stuff happened. Because I am still blown away at how big my thighs have gotten just doing 135. But once again, the program, because I'm doing front squats, and if I lean forward, the weight falls in my arms. So I have to maintain a certain posture that puts all of the focus on my lower legs. The power of programming, the power of reprogramming. I am using half the weight that I used to, and I'm getting better results. Let me say this again. I'm using less than half the weight I used to, and I'm getting better, more desired results because I took it apart. I broke it apart, and I said, okay, what do we want? How are we going to do it? What we're willing to give up. And I had to give up the power mail because, there's a thumbnail where you can see I was big. I was swole. I was swole nation. And that just isn't the goal anymore because, years ago I was with this Uber driver and he said something that was very startling. There are no 300-pound old people. You'll get some like maybe 240, 250 and they're tall, but he was right. You don't see any 300-pound old people. That still resonates to this day. So a big thing, because there's so many parallels between dating, fitness, business, because they all have processes that must be followed in a certain sequence for you to get results. Because there's different outcomes for doing these things, but the sequencing and the process is the same. First of all, there must be a process. There are many people trying to make money. There's no process. There's no program. They just out here hustling. I got a t-shirt design is hard work. Let's see, the law of attraction is disguised as hard work. I'm thinking about doing that one because so many things happen in this space because I believe everyone can make at least 5 to 10 times more money than they're currently making. I really believe that in my heart of hearts. So if you're making 30, you can make 150. If you're making 30, you might be able to make 300K. But I believe everyone can do 150 to maybe 180. But here's the thing. It's going to be boring. The things that you will have to do consistently and over again are not exciting. They're not entertaining. They just work because they're part of a process that's part of a larger system. Because, you have people up here, because one of my people I'm consulting with, we've had this, we talked twice, and he has an online business, and he has no process. And we started the process, and just in two sessions, he's realized $2,000 additional this month. He paid $3,000 for the program. Processes and systems, because that's what we're going to talk about in Hustler Undergrad. And I should let you guys know, because I'm getting a lot of questions. The art of holding companies is included in Hustler Undergrad. I just separated that because there's some people who just wanted that. But come Friday, I'm going to look at the price and I may make a change. Just depends. I got certain metrics. But this programming thing is very, very important, and it's rooted in discipline. It's rooted in consistency. I'll throw something else out. I cannot eat the way that I used to eat. And this is the same thing with money. I literally can't spend like I used to spend. I know it's going to sound crazy. I got a credit card with a very large limit. Anytime I get to 10% of that limit, I start freaking out. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Because one time I actually cut a statement, and I think I had like 10 grand on that card. It's like, wait a minute. Went to the bank, instantly paid that off. I said, whoa. Because typically, because I got busy, but typically I pay it off every week, and I just got clueless. But once I looked, I freaked out. I'm not paying any interest. As long as it's paid within 59 days, I don't pay any interest. But once again, I've programmed myself to not allow myself to run my credit card up to a point where I'm gonna have to make payments. I program myself where my accounts, which have money in it, when they get low, I've programmed myself to stop spending. When I get to a certain point and money that is allocated for this and this, I don't dip into that. I'm like, this is what I got to work with. And I will teach you guys a very creative way to extract money out of your business, because that's going to be the first thing, because we're going to talk about this house, and I'll show you pictures and stuff. It's going to be very interesting. I'm definitely going to move up the Art of Holding Companies webinar, because I see that I'm going to have to. But I'm going to teach you how to set up a holding company, an operating LLC, and save money and make money without earning money. Let me say this again. How you can make money, save money without earning money. And it's going to be really big, because once I do it, because this webinar is going to be very different from anything else I've ever done before. But yeah, I freak out. I literally freaked out when my credit card got to that point. All right, so let's see what we got in here. Not too many in the chat room, but just to let you guys know, tomorrow is Friday, I believe, and I'm gonna be looking at that price point. But currently, for $159.99, you can get into Hustlers Undergrad, and it's 20 payments, 20 months, no more after that. And then you're graduated into Disruptive Money, the consulting program. So we will definitely rock out with that. And if you don't need that right now, you can get the Art of Holding Companies for $99.99 times 15 months. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. What's up, Hard Breakdown? If anyone has any questions about Hustlers Undergrad, go ahead and ask while I dig into this chat. What's up, Western? I'm seeing a lot of new faces up here. What's up, Ganja? Michael? Fester the Migto, change is hard. I've been backsliding the last year and a half. One of the things that you have to do, Fester, is you have to put in, like, you know, when the stock market, how you put in stops and calls, like on my credit card, even though I can go way further than 10 grand, I have a stop. It's like, once we get here, nothing else happens. So you've got to do that. But the backsliding is part of the process. It's just not to let the backsliding go. Because what used to happen to me, I would be doing really well, and then I would have one bad day, and one bad day would turn into 2 bad days, and it turned into 3, and it turned into a week, turned into a month, and it turned into 2 months, then it turned into 3 months. Then I've lost all my games. Like 6 months, starting all over again. And you feel disgusted and defeated. but you just got to pick yourself up. And the thing is, backsliding a day or even a week is not really going to throw you off track that much. It may actually, depending upon. Alrighty then. Let's see. Well, you can still see me. It's kind of funny because I did not set up another camera. Or can I? Let me see. I don't know why I did that. But we will hold on. That's funny. Once again, if you have any questions about Hustlers Undergrad, go ahead and ask while I kind of fix this a little bit. Think I can fix it? Yeah. All right. That is crazy how that happened. All right. Cool. We're back. I don't know what happened. But, fortunately, I'm glad I left that camera still plugged in. I was going to unplug it. All right. Ganja, I started getting about 6 to 7 hours of sleep. Was operating on 3 to 4 for nearly 3 years. I'm feeling less anxious. Sleep is a big part of overall health. I am slowly backing down from the 16-hour days and stuff because I'm down to about consistently 12, 11. And part of the efficiency plan is to get to, a 10-hour day, 8-10-hour day. Cutting social media out. Like, once again, those fools, they're going off. I'm not getting back into it with them. Awesome, Fester. I appreciate that. What's up, Claude? Oh, yeah, we're going to get into a lot of training. Well, some freakouts are good and some freakouts are bad. I think a freak out where you reach a certain level with your finances where you need to stop, I think that's okay. Definitely. It is a mindset because success is essentially doing proper things consistently. It ain't sexy. It can get boring at times, but that's what will get you the results. Or it can be extremely hard. Like, Kobe Bryant just went to talk to Nick Saban and the team. And he was just talking about the process and how many people don't learn how to love the process, because one of the reasons I make money is I continue to do the same thing over and over again. I've been doing the same thing for years. And every time I deviate and try to do something new, my results go down. So it's real interesting how that happens. Pretty much. Theodore Cousins. We can do case studies. Rick James, I love that name. Ganja, the media is the media, man. Because I see false stories on all of them, stuff I know not to be true. Yeah, A.G. Gaston was the man. And a lot of people just don't know who this guy was. It's amazing. NC Administrative Consultant LLC, you need to bring more than your voice to the table. Absolutely. And that's what a lot of people who do. They keep regurgitating the same stuff. They have no program. They have no process. It's just, this is how I feel. And they'll be saying stuff that is historically accurate. And that's it. They will not add any new wrinkles to their message. That's one level of programming. Definitely fear. I like that stuff. Most hoteps know just enough about Black history to be outraged, but in their outrage, they forgot to look at Black history, which would be inspired. There's a lot to be inspired by, too. One of my friends said this. He said, people are not interested in ending white supremacy. They just want a better place in it. And I find that to be very true, even though, to me, white supremacy is like a dog with no teeth. That's pretty much what it is at this state. Christian, what's up? Becoming big is overrated. Yeah, I've changed because someone's like, man, you look smaller. I am smaller and going to get a little smaller, probably another 20 pounds. But I'm going to give myself a year to do it because one of the things I've learned on my little journey is if you lose it and keep it off for a long period of time, your body resets at that weight. That's why when people do these crash diets and they lose all that weight, then it comes back so quick because their body's still trying to hold on to it. Your body is an amazing machine. It will do many things that will jack you up. Social media is going to go through many changes. Theodore, yes it is. It's very amazing. What's up, Cashmatic? Oh, you used to be with the Hoteps? I didn't know that, Ganja. Robbie Rob, one thing that's really bugs me is how white people play such a big role in a lot of these pro-black movements. I mean, this is one of the things. You know, most historically black colleges were started by white people. It's just the fact, and you know, I know it's designated black history, but it should be designated American history because it's everyone's history. What's up, Edward? What's up, America? Yeah, because we don't have these. We don't have the respect that we used to have for the old people. We just don't. Unless you go to certain neighborhoods, you'll see certain neighborhoods where the tribes and them they're flourishing. Michael, what examples of white people taking huge roles in pro-black movements? George Soros funded Black Lives Matter. I don't think you can get any deeper role than that. Awesome, Fester. Man, they hate me. I 89 Dr. Funk, I learned a long time ago lifting weights in small amount of weights doing burnout reps gets me more results. Yeah, because I'm not even doing burnout reps. I'm like, my rep range is between 8 and 10. 6, 8, and 10. I don't max out. I've done a few 2 and 3, but I don't go for the one singles. I just stopped at. I want a name. I don't think Bernie's going to run. My credit card's maxed out. That's funny. Hold on. We just jumped. Good Lord. You got a lot of programs on the Disruptive Mail page. You mean disruptivemail.org? Actually, yeah, there's that actually kind of took a back seat to Hustlers undergrad. It will happen. It will happen. Because that's another thing that I've done. Pretty much sticking to one thing for a minute before jumping to something else. And there's been a lot of people who've been talking about Disruptive Mail. It'll get built because one of the reasons that I'm going with Hustlers undergrad is, and this is something that goes on in the group, is the default is to talk about women, to talk about how to get women, how women are doing wrong. I talk about women, but I also handle my business. We need more stuff on the business end. What's up, bro? Brawley Khan, Randall Riley, Pamela C. Fred Edwards, feminism will be dead. I actually agree with that because a lot of the younger women don't want anything to do with it. What's up, Jay Gaines? We'll see, Rick James. I'm just saying that if you want to get in at 159.99, you probably want to move tonight. Mariquette, we'll be talking about that in the power holding companies. Oh man, just like one of my coworkers has all kinds of candy for everyone to take, and every time I pass by, that's something I don't really deal with because I remember how people would bring cakes and cookies to the break room, and it would be like this mad dash, or you wouldn't get any. I don't really have to deal with that, but yeah, that could be very, very tempting. What's up, Patrick? I've been building processes and systems for top companies, and they pay top dollar. Oh yeah, because if you can build a system after you're gone, that system is still going to make money for many years. When I was at Rent a Crate, 12 months after I left, they were still making money off the work I had did. 12 months. They got their money out of me easily. Yep, we'll be talking about real estate. Fred, Malcolm X was a genius. And a lot of people have picked MLK. I think they both were great, but a lot of people picked MLK over Malcolm, and I don't really think that there was a stylistic difference, but the message was essentially the same. People need to do for self. Nobody. First, you should change your avatar name. Nobody is very negative. Experiment. You're 25 years old. Good Lord. David must have had a lot of stuff on his mind. Pretty much. Because, like, take losing weight. When I really started losing weight was when my diet became consistent. I'm going to say some. I have Twinkies like every other day. I don't have a cheat day. I eat whatever I want, but I just don't eat as much of it, and I don't eat it at certain times. I found out that certain carbs have a serious effect on me. Like I can eat. Anyone heard of a buckwheat pancake or buckwheat waffles? I can eat that. Does nothing to me. I can eat Twinkies. Does nothing to me. But if I eat a cupcake from this bakery, I'll literally put on a pound and a half because I'm holding water. So you kind of got to figure out what works for you. Oh, Ben don't play. Ben and Steph, they don't play with folks. Once they see that we have a crazy person, and I like to give a shout out to the moderators because if you see that the comment section has been much cleaner and we just don't have all this foolishness, someone that will come in while we're having this stream, while we're having this discussion, is someone who isn't interested in getting better. They just want attention. That's all they want. They just want attention. Larry Michael, depends on you. You might be a night owl. Your best time to get off and rest may be during the day. It depends. You got to play with it. I think we're going to do it August 30th. Oh yeah, that's some from one of the it was from the first house I had after the boarding house. It was in the basement. I asked the owner, could I have it? And they're like, yeah. And then my partner framed it. Oh man, YouTube is rough. That's why if you can make it on YouTube, woo. I did not know that, 89 Dr. Funk. I did not know that. Dale Carnegie funded Frederick Douglass for his school. Oh, I made a lot of changes because there was this debate. People like, I thought it was the camera angle. I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep losing. Bad Wolf MMA. Keep fighting the good fight. I love how you're always looking to mentally and financially grow. Keep experiencing and pass along your findings. Yeah, because the thing is, most people are locked into a scarcity mindset. And this is another scarcity mindset. I see it all over the internet. Like, well, you got money. Why are you selling courses? You got money. Why aren't you doing this? You got money. Why don't you have a Lambo? These are people with very limited mindsets. Everybody that I know that makes money is trying to make more. They didn't go like, well, I got 2 million. I'm good. Because they know inflation, the erosion, the economy. There's a lot of things that if you just had like a big chunk of money, that money can be eaten up to taxes, inflation, all kinds of stuff. Divorce. Do. Anthony, I was programmed to hold on to my stocks for dear life, but this Chinese company was losing me bread, so I took that couple of grand and put it on the sidelines for the others waiting for the meltdown. Douglas Jones, Black Titan, A.G. Gaston's The Making of a Black American Millionaire by Carol Jenkins and Elizabeth Gardner Hines. There are so many things in Birmingham that have A.G. Gaston's name on it. The A.G. Gaston Boys Club. There's so many, because you know the company's still in business. A.G. Gaston Life Insurance. Kindlewood, high intensity training and lightweight. Yeah, I still want to have some muscle though. I'm not going to like completely abandon it. It's just more of an old school bodybuilder type workout. Close them, Jay Gaines. Rick James, you need to go ahead and buy. That's all I'm going to say. David, oh, good Lord. David's a pervert. Once again, I think, everyone has to play around with foods because I used to have these crazy weight swings, like literally 6 and 8 pounds in a week. It was because I'm very sensitive to sodium. So I've really cut out a lot of sodium, and that helped because typically my float is like literally a pound. I gain a pound when I have like a salty meal or something, just literally a pound. Workout, because typically I eat halfway. Well, I don't even want to say clean. I eat on my program for 2 or 3 days. Then I'll have a day where I eat whatever. And that's typically when the flow that happen. Then I get back on my program and I go right back. Definitely. I used to like MLK more. A lot of people come to that decision, man. Thank you, D. Nelson. Stan Lee said he used Malcolm and Martin as models for X-Men characters Magneto and Charles Xavier. You can actually see that. That's really cool. Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know anything about Paxline, so you need to check out Erica. She's all over that. Yeah, nutrition is everything, man. It really is. I mean, when that Ben that put that out there, or no, you can actually see that. Yeah, because really it's about your habits and your mindsets. You have to change those. Yeah, I know, Christian. I'm gonna do moderate weights because, like, I still lift heavy weights, but I don't max out like I used to. Maybe 3 reps. I'm trying to get away with that because I'm trying to do like my last set of 5 reps as heavy as I can go because uh, I have muscle memory as well. I used to be swole, so when I lowered the weight and got to higher reps, a lot of that stuff started coming back. So that's it. All right. So apparently there are no questions. You can go below and you can hit the link. Now, this is how it happens. I'll tell you the story. Because when I first created the Hustlers, it was hustlerskungfu.com. That was the first set. Then my internet provider, the hosting company, because I didn't want to buy another package from them, they just completely canceled everything. So my site disappeared. So I had to go with Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills. And then I renewed Hustlers Kung Fu, but by then the site had gotten too big to change the name. And then when I was using Hustler, Stripe didn't like the word hustler. They have no problem with disruptive, but they didn't like hustler. So when you sign up within 24 hours, because I've been really pretty much on it, because I probably got like 3 or 4 to do, and I'll do them after this stream, where I'll add you and send you all your information and tell you how to get started. So there's a little process, but it's not too bad. Uh, LRA, check your emails because I already fixed that for you like 2, 3 days ago. Check your emails. And also, what you can do once you get your login credentials, you can go in and change it to whatever email you want. If you just, because whatever email that you paid with PayPal, that's the email that I use. And I had a lot of people like, I don't want to use that email. Like, then why did you can add more emails to PayPal. Let's see. Yeah, because like I still do overhead press. I still do deadlifts. I just don't go nowhere near as heavy as I used to because I was close to 700 on the deadlift. And I had aches and pains, like this pain in my shin. I knew where it came from, and once I eased up on the weight, I'm probably just not going to go super heavy again. I'm not going to be a competitive power lifter, so I'm not going to try to do that stuff. I'll still try to increase the weight because I saw, God, Rory, dude is 62 years old. He looks like he's 25. Seriously, arms big and everything, but he never stopped training. Yeah, check your email. Nope. Big M1110. Nope. We ain't doing that. The reason I did that is there's a lot of people who got the first Hustlers Kung Fu and I go through there. They've never opened up a course. I'm not doing that anymore. Also, once again, with the information that we'll put in, you start your business. That 150 should be cake. It should be cake. Oh yeah, there's a. Cause see, when I get to the new place, a lot of this stuff is going to change, and that's kind of why I am trying this setup because I'll be able to do this setup, and I'll have like the basement in the new place is literally 4 times as large as this area down here, which is the basement. It's 4 times, maybe 6 times. So you'll be able to see that. Yeah, because my goal is to look like a vintage bodybuilder ish. Because I'm probably not going to walk around with a 6 pack all the time, but kind of close to that look. Samuel C. Armstrong, son of missionaries and a Union Army vet, founded Hampton University in 1868. I mean, the history's just intertwined with it. Yeah, I know I'm going to get hit over the head by the whole test, but there were a lot of good white people. I know. We ain't supposed to say stuff like that, but there was a lot of good white people. There was a lot of white people who did not believe in slavery, and some of them died trying to end it. These are facts, but people don't want to talk about that. They're all cave people. They're dwellers and all this other crazy stuff. Oh no, Big M110. It is 150. It's $159.99 a month. Whatever is below this video, because I know there was some where I had the 290, but after people came to me in mass and like, look, man, I just found your channel. I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll do $159.99 until Friday and see what happens. Matthew Campbell, how can I get started with selling courses? People just keep telling me. How many of y'all know that Facebook has literally lost half its traffic in the last 2 years? I was wondering why everybody was running to YouTube. All these Facebook folks had all these Facebook ads. Now they were all on YouTube. Now I know why. Because it was just like, hey, we're just expanding our base. No. Facebook doesn't have the inventory of traffic that it used to have. Anthony Johnson, I will go into all of that in the course. The future looks bright if you're properly positioned. I started this company in a recession. See, it's about having assets, having the right mindset, and being positioned. Like if you got a lot of debt right now, you're going to be in trouble. If you got a shaky job, you're going to be in trouble. But if you're positioned, this recession is going to be the beginning of a lot of multimillionaires. Nope, hadn't moved yet. Connections. I'm an artist. What course should I take to sell better? I know this is going to sound strange, but you probably need the mindset course, because if you make beautiful art and art is subjective, you got to believe in your art enough to ask for a lot of money for it. Pretty much. I ignore those people. 89 Dr. Funk. The new stuff is going to be the webinars. Let me tell you, twice a month, we're going to have an in-depth webinar. It's not going to be like stuff I've done before, because I'm working on the first one, which once I get it done, I may just go ahead and say, look, I'm getting ready to do it and give people an update. Because if you're in Hustlers undergrad, you have your own email list. And I sent out an email, like 60% open it. So some people are not getting it, and I'm going to work on that. But essentially, there's an email address where I can just send everybody a link to the webinars. I can send everybody an update to the course. It's a beautiful thing. So the first thing is, it's going to be the Art of Holding Companies, which is going to be 5 or 6 sessions. And they're going to be what I call self-contained sessions. Like the first one's going to be like how I'm getting this house. I'm going to explain everything, the strategy behind it, the legality behind it. And then we're going to get, because the thing is, everyone can start a holding company right now, because your operating company is what's going to, run your business. Your holding company, the money passes up. So we're going to talk about that, the philosophy behind that, what you should do, how you should do it, why you should set it up. If you're single, why you really need to set it up, stuff like that. Because like I said, I have just completely left crypto. I felt that once I made my first prediction, that when the summer came and money came out the market, that it would fall, and it did. And here's my second prediction. Kids are back in school. There's money to be put in the market. If we go until December and people and Facebook is still doing these little mini crashes, it's just going to crash all the way down to about $3,000. How does Bitcoin value go up? Demand. Demand is there, price goes up. Demand is not there, price goes down. I say Malik Turner, next 15 months, 15, 16 months. Your college, yeah, with this, I'm going to leave. Brand, your mother is wrong. I don't have a degree and I've gotten many loans. You need money and a good credit score. That's all they care about. All right, I'll see you guys later. For any of those who are interested in Hustlers Undergrad, links below. And if you don't want that, you can get into the Art of Holding Company. The price is not going to change until like Friday if it changes. So we'll see. So with that, I'll see you guys later. Peace, love, hair grease, and all that jazz.